What's up, everybody? Thank you for clicking on the link. Oh, long time no see. It's been a while since I've been on here, it seems. It's been at least 6 or 7, 8 days maybe. But I'm glad to be back here right now. I've missed you guys, the few of you that do watch. I missed you. Well, here, what I'm going to be talking about today is going to actually be a little commentary on the movie Wonder Woman. Y'all, I'm going to try not to put any spoilers in this video, but I just want to tell y'all about it. I mean, I should be getting paid by Marvel Comics and some of these production companies for actually promoting their movie like I'm doing for free right now, but they should be paying me. But anyway, let me tell you, if you did not see that movie, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to get to see it. Whatever you got to do to see it, however you got to see it, please watch it. Please, please, please watch it. Wonder Woman was such a good movie, action-packed, adrenaline rush from beginning to end. Let me tell you, you know, because the movie's about 2 hours and 8 minutes long. It's a very beautiful movie. The scenery and everything, the special effects is just out of this world. The movie, of course, it goes back to when Wonder Woman, her name is Diana, when she was a little girl on the island of something starts with TH. I cannot remember. I don't know why I didn't write it down in my notes or whatever. But she's on this island of Amazons. This all women. They were not born of women necessarily. She was, because her father, I want to say, was the god Zeus, which you find that out later on in the movie. But she is it's an island of all women. Of course, Amazons. Anybody that knows the old, all the backstory on Wonder Woman is already familiar with that. And from the time she was a little girl, she wanted to be a warrior princess. Because I think her mother was actually the queen of this island. And her aunt was over the military. She was in charge of training all of the women for war. Whenever they had invasions from other gods, like the evil god Ares, they would be prepared to fight against them and to defend their nation. They were actually created, they just were created up out of the ground some kind of way. The gods created them. There was no procreation with any man. But I think Diana, aka Wonder Woman, was the only one that was actually born of like I said, of a male type figure. And I think Zeus, so I could be wrong. Y'all correct me in the comments. I don't have notes in front of me at all. I'm just going from memory here. But and that's why she was much stronger and more powerful than all of the other Amazons on the island. And she was actually trained better because, let me just give you the brief story. When she was a little girl, she wanted to be a warrior. She would leave school every day to go out to the training grounds where the other women were being trained by her aunt. And she would just stare and watch, and she would just be out there doing her little moves and everything, because she was just enamored with the whole idea of being a fighter. Okay, but her mother didn't want her to do it. Her mother was like, there's no need for you to do that. There's no threat right now. We've already defeated Ares, because they did have a battle. Their last battle was against him and his army, and they actually defeated him. They didn't kill him, they wounded him, and he ran away with his tail tucked between his legs. And it had been some time since they had actually had any type of invasion from the outside. So the mom didn't feel like it was necessary, and she also was afraid for her safety. She just didn't want her to be in an unsafe environment, because, you know, during the practice she could get hurt, or during training she could actually get hurt. But the little girl just begged and begged her mom. She would sneak off every day to go and watch these Amazon women training for battle. And her aunt saw her, and her aunt agreed to train her behind the mother's back. And so for like 5 years, from the time the little girl was like 5 to maybe about 10, the aunt was actually training her behind her mom's back. And the mom found out one day, because she happened to walk up on them while they were training, and the girl was on her back because she had been, which I guess you could say, defeated in a mock battle between one of the other people. From her aunt training her. And so her mama was upset at first, and she was like, I just can't believe you would defy me and go behind my back like this. Well, somehow the aunt convinced the mother that she needed to go ahead and start training, because Ares, you know, he's not dead. She had to remind the mother that, you know, Ares is not dead, and he could literally come back anytime to retaliate against us for what we did to them years ago. And so finally the mother does agree to let her to continue to train her at this age, because she was too young. But the mom agrees to let her train her, and she tells her, as long as you promise me that you will train her harder than all the other women. She said, I do. I promise you I'm going to train her 10 times harder. And she said, I want you to basically make sure she's better. She's a better fighter than any other warrior that ever came before her. And the aunt agreed, and the aunt did train her. She trained her 10 times better than everybody else. And like I said, she also had powers that she didn't even know she had. She figured it out later on. Okay, when she was in the moment of an actual impending danger, she found out that she had a superpower. She had many of them, actually. Okay. So I don't want to give away too much in the movie. But she winds up coming into connection or encountering a man, which they had never really seen before. She had read about him, heard about him, but she didn't know anything about a man, had never seen one face to face. But the guy in the movie, played by Chris Pine, I think he played on the last Star Trek or something like that. And he also played on this other movie I saw about a ship being stranded out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean somewhere, off the coast of Maine somewhere. I can't remember the name of that movie, but anyway, he's been on a lot of movies here lately. But anyway, the movie is set, because I don't think that the island that Diana on, or Wonder Woman was on, there was no time. There was no seasons. People don't age. Ooh, I wish I could go there. But you don't age. There's no time or anything like that. It was just this beautiful, peaceful island, okay, for the most part. And there was it's not necessarily on the earth, but it's divided from our world by a gulf. There's this great divide between human world and our world. That's what it appeared to be. In some kind of way, the human world wound up coming into contact with them. And on the human side, it was set in early in the 1940s. It was like during World War II sometime. And the guy who wound up there was actually running from the Germans. So yeah, it was during World War II. In some kind of way, he found his way. He was escaping from an evil scientist and some people, some of the powers that be in Germany, and he wound up on this island, or in Wonder Woman's world. And he wound up flying on a plane, and he wound up crashing into the ocean, and she winds up saving him. I ain't never seen somebody swim so fast. She was like a torpedo when she swam. I'm talking about powerful. She saved his life, and that's how they wound up hooking up. And she winds up at some point, when they hooked up that day on the island, when she saved him, those other Germans wound up being able to cross over into their island as well, and they had a battle that day. So this is the beginning of the movie. I promise not to tell any more details, but they wound up in a battle. And it was destructive. People wound up dying. The Amazon women and them wound up dying. Some of them. All of the German men, except the guy she saved, wound up dying. And so she thinks that this is Ares is doing. Or she knows in her heart, or feels in her heart, that this is Ares that has come back. And she has got to defeat him. So at some point, she convinces her mom to let her leave. She's grown now. I'm assuming 18, 19. She convinces her mom to let her leave with this guy and go back into our world. And yeah, that's what happens. She goes back into our world, and that's where all of the rest of the action and the storyline unfolds. She's looking for Ares, but this guy's like, he don't know what she's talking about. He's like, Ares is a Greek god. He's not over here. Ares doesn't have anything to do with this. This is German dignitaries and the German military leaders that we're fighting against here. But she's like, no, I'm looking for Ares. She insists she's looking for Ares. And y'all gonna see how all of that comes together. His story about the Germans and her story about Ares, how it's gonna all come together. I mean, it's action packed from beginning to end. If you love action, and if you love Marvel comics like I do, anything that's got something to do with the X-Men, DC comics, Marvel comics, anything like that, I love it. An adrenaline rush from beginning to end. This girl is bad. This is the baddest female superhero you will ever see. I never knew Wonder Woman had these powers, because I never did. Even though I grew up, I was born in the late 70s, and I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I never really watched Wonder Woman like that. I always thought that she just had that truth rope and everything. But this girl, not only did she have the truth lasso, but she had several other powers. She could jump at exceeding speeds that beyond that of any animal you've ever seen. She could run fast. She could jump great distances. She was powerful. She could fight. She was strong. Oh my, awesome movie. And I'm sure the feminists had a field day with this movie because it was like girl power from beginning to end. She was more powerful than any man in the movie. I wanted to say that before I actually watched the movie, I had read an article that was entitled "Women Everywhere Crying and Shedding Tears Over Wonder Woman." I'm like, crying? What would they be crying for? I ain't never saw a Marvel Comics movie that I really wanted to cry over unless one of my superheroes died. And so I read the article, and basically it was centered around, it was saying that the women were crying because of feminism. They were coming from a feminist perspective. Women power everywhere. Women just taking over and being in control and yada yada. And it just brought tears to these women's eyes. But I promise you, and I was thinking it was so stupid. I said, let me watch this movie and see why would anybody cry over Wonder Woman? Well, I started watching the movie, and I promise you, on just about every battle scene, I started tearing up. I don't know if it was my hormones or what, but I'm telling you. But so they were telling the truth. You do cry. For me, I did anyway. I don't know if any other woman would, but I know I did. I shed some tears as I was watching every fight scene in the movie. And it had nothing to do with feminism, because I don't consider myself a feminist. I mean, I believe in girl power. I believe in equality for women, but feminists, I wouldn't, not so much. They going a little bit too far with that. I like for men to still be men and do what men, in my mind, what a man's supposed to do. But anyway, that's another story. So, I actually watched the movie today. And like I said, and it's, the tears that I shed were they came from a nostalgic place. It's like every time somebody attacked them, from the different scenes where she was protecting people, because she had a heart for people, and when she saw people being enslaved and hurt and being oppressed, she fought for them. So it was kind of like, okay, you got this scene where the powers that be are supposed to be real strong and unbeatable, and yet you got this one woman that rises up, and with a little bit of help from some men, of course, but she practically was defeating them on her own. And when I saw this, it just moved me. I don't know if it was the fact that she was just fighting for justice, and she was fighting for what was right. And I think that really moved me, and it did. I ain't gonna lie. So they told the truth. If you have any kind of personality or consciousness at all for justice and for strength in a person that's standing up for what's right, you might shed a tear or two. And I'm not a crybaby kind of person, you know. But the movie was good. It was awesome, and I can already tell you they are making room for a part 2 and 3 and 4 as well. And but it's good. Y'all have got to see it. As a matter of fact, I probably will watch it again because it's such a good movie. Please check it out. Please check it out. I mean, hush, because I don't want to give away any more spoilers on the movie. I tried not to, and I hope I did not anger anybody, but I just had to tell you. You got to watch it. The Black Panther trailer is out. Of course, I don't know if it was released today or yesterday, but let me tell you, talk about power, talking about girl power in another movie. Black power. I can't wait till Black Panther comes out. Chadwick Boseman, Lupita Nyong'o, I think Angela Bassett is in. I mean, an all-star cast. Who else? What is his name? Michael B. Jordan. All cast. Not all black, because there are some white people in it, but the main characters are black people. Not that you know, a movie is a movie, but I'm just telling you, because we don't see a movie like this often. You know, the latest we've seen was Luke Cage, which was good because I saw the whole series and just waiting on the next one. But honey, when I tell you that 5-minute trailer, and I'm going to post a link in the description so you can watch it if you have not watched it, just for your convenience. I have got to see it. They have not yet given a release date, but I have a feeling it's going to be soon. We got a lot of stuff coming out. The Tupac movie coming out this month. Can't wait for that. But yeah, check out the trailer just to give you just to mess with your taste buds a little bit. But anyway, I just wanted to come to you and tell you how good Wonder Woman was or is, and y'all need to check it out. That's a good one. Okay. Talk to you later. Gonna see you in the next video. It's gonna probably be a few little news tidbits and everything. All right, y'all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and put your commentary. Let me know what you thought about Wonder Woman if you have seen it already. And yeah, thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.